On the 150th anniversary of the abolition of slavery, the Dutch king expresses remorse for the complicity of his country in the institution of slavery. In a momentous speech during a commemorative event marking the anniversary of the abolition of slavery, Dutch King Willem-Alexander expressed his sincere apologies for the involvement of his country in the institution of slavery. The crowd responded with loud cheers and enthusiastic applause as the king humbly asked for forgiveness for the past transgressions. After Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte's apology for the Netherlands' involvement in the slave trade and enslavement, the king addressed the nation. This apology and subsequent speech are part of a larger movement in the Western world to confront and come to terms with colonial histories, a movement that has gained momentum in recent years with the rise of the Black Lives Matter movement. During an impassioned address, Willem-Alexander hearkened back to the aforementioned apology while addressing a gathering of esteemed attendees and spectators. He emphasized, "Today I stand before you. Today, as your king and as a member of the government, I make this apology myself, and I feel the weight of the words in my heart and my soul." In response to the issue of the Royal House of Orange-Nassau's involvement in slavery in the Netherlands, the king has announced the initiation of a comprehensive investigation to ascertain their precise role. However, as we reflect on this solemn day, I humbly request forgiveness for our evident inaction in the face of such a grave violation of human rights. As Willem-Alexander concluded his speech, his voice seemed to quiver with deep emotion. Following his powerful words, he proceeded to pay his respects by placing a wreath at the National Slavery Monument located within a park in Amsterdam. According to former politician John Leerdam, while speaking with Dutch broadcaster NOS, he recounted the emotional experience of tears streaming down his face upon hearing the apology from the king. Leerdam emphasized the significance of this moment, acknowledging its historical importance and urging others to do the same. The abolition of slavery took place in Suriname and the Dutch colonies in the Caribbean on July 1st, 1863. However, despite this milestone, a significant portion of the formerly enslaved individuals were compelled to remain on plantations and continue their labor for an additional decade. The commemorative event and speech held on Saturday signify the inauguration of a year-long series of activities to honor the 150th anniversary of July 1st, 1873. A recent study released in the previous month revealed that the forefathers of the king amassed a sum of money that is equivalent to 545 million euros, $595 million in today's currency through their involvement in the slave trade. This significant amount includes earnings derived from shares that were essentially bestowed upon them as presents. In December, Rutte issued an apology, but fell short of providing restitution to the descendants of those who were enslaved. In contrast, the government is in the process of creating a fund totaling 200 million euros, $217 million. This fund will be allocated towards various initiatives aimed at addressing the lasting effects of slavery in the Netherlands and its former colonies, as well as enhancing educational efforts surrounding this historical matter. However, there are individuals in the Netherlands who believe that this action is insufficient. Prior to the King's speech on Saturday, two organizations, namely Black Manifesto and the Black Archives, coordinated a demonstration under the rallying cry of "No healing without reparations." Mitchell Esserjas, the director of the Black Archives, along with my group and many others, firmly believe that a mere apology is insufficient. We advocate for an apology to be accompanied by tangible actions of repair and restorative justice, such as reparations. In a jubilant commemoration of the emancipation of slavery, participants in a Surinamese parade adorned themselves in vibrant traditional attire. According to organizers, enslaved individuals were prohibited from donning footwear and vibrant garments. 72-year-old Regina Benicia van Wint expressed, "On this day, as we commemorate our ancestors, we not only experience freedom but also the ability to express ourselves through our attire and demonstrate our liberty to the rest of the world." Following the murder of George Floyd, an African-American man in Minneapolis, on May 25, 2020, and the consequential rise of the Black Lives Matter movement, there has been a renewed and critical examination of the Netherlands' turbulent colonial past. This history, characterized by its brutality, has been brought into sharp focus. In 2021, a remarkable exhibition at the National Museum of Art and History courageously delved into the dark history of slavery within Dutch colonies. Coinciding with this, a report published in the same year condemned the Dutch participation in slavery as a grave violation of human rights and connected it to the persistent presence of institutional racism in the Netherlands. The Dutch initially entered into the transatlantic slave trade during the late 1500s, but it wasn't until the mid-1600 EES that they emerged as significant players in this profitable endeavour. Over time, the Dutch West India Company established itself as the foremost transatlantic slave trading entity, as confirmed by Carwan Fatah Black, a renowned scholar in the field of Dutch colonial history and an esteemed assistant professor at Leiden University. Apologies for past wrongdoings are not exclusive to Dutch authorities. Other nations also acknowledge and express remorse for their historical acts of abuse. Denmark issued an official apology to Ghana in the year 2018, acknowledging its colonial rule over the country spanning from the 1600s to the 1800s. King Philippe of Belgium has publicly expressed profound remorse for the atrocities committed during the colonization of Congo. In 1992, Pope John Paul II offered a formal apology for the complicity of the Church in the practice of slavery. In the United States, the removal of statues commemorating individuals who were slaveholders in the southern regions has sparked intense and passionate debates among the populace. According to a spokesperson from Buckingham Palace, in the month of April, King Charles III made an unprecedented declaration of endorsement for an investigation into the historical connection between the UK monarchy and the institution of slavery. This decision was prompted by the discovery of a document that revealed an ancestor of the King's ownership of shares in a company involved in the slave trade. Prince Charles and his firstborn, Prince William, have conveyed their deep sadness regarding the historical atrocities of slavery. However, they have yet to publicly acknowledge the direct involvement of the royal family in the slave trade. In a commemorative event that celebrated Barbados's transition into a republic, Charles made mention of the most somber moments of our history and the abhorrent crime of slavery, which has left an indelible mark on our collective past. The English colonizers capitalized on the labor of African slaves in order to transform the island into a prosperous sugar-producing colony. While acknowledging that there are dissenting voices in the Netherlands regarding the issue of apologies, Willem-Alexander urged for a sense of solidarity and togetherness among the people. He stated that there is no predetermined set of instructions for the journey of healing, reconciliation, and recovery. He emphasized that we are collectively navigating unfamiliar terrain, and therefore we should provide assistance and direction to one another. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.